James, we live.
Yo, so what's up, man?
Oh man, what's happening, man? Welcome to the Dog Pound. Co-host and host James King and K9. We in the building. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Did you get a chance to watch any of the fights this weekend?
Yeah. What fight did you watch? And did you watch all the fights? And which fights you felt was the better fight?
Well, I saw your boy.
Dude,
We'll have him on next week.
yeah,
Aline.
exactly.
He took care of business, did what he was supposed to do,
Uh-huh.
and he put himself in line for a shot. He that particular show
Mhm.
showcased his weight class, and actually he could be in line for a fight with is it Monroe?
I don't know.
The other guy that Fulton. I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
Fulton.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
could be in line for a fight with Fulton.
Yeah.
Uh, Fulton now, he could be. I don't know if you want to call him the dark horse or not, but he's got a lot of experience. He was thoroughly in charge of that fight. I agreed with the scores. Most of the judges gave him at least 9 rounds.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with the scoring.
hmm
But Aleem showed a lot of poise.
Yeah.
He took his time,
Yeah.
even though he knocked the guy down. What was it, 3 times?
hmm
And
Yeah.
actually, I wasn't that surprised with by his performance, but that's like I said, that's a division that's loaded with talent.
Yeah.
But he wants to be the first Michigan champ from Muskegon.
Yeah. Michigan.
He's a
I'm jealous.
Muskegon. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
know, so he definitely be the king among blind men, because I don't know how
Yeah.
many boxers y'all got to come out of Muskegon, but I haven't heard
Hey,
about a lot of them. So
we got a lot
yeah,
of them coming out of Michigan, though. Period. Like
yeah,
Michigan.
you got a lot to come
Yeah.
out of Michigan, but like
hmm
I said, he would probably be the first from Muskegon. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. That we know of.
yeah,
Ain't
yeah.
no telling. Yeah, we got Saucy. Saucy, a big supporter, was the first one on a live with us, and Multiverse said hi, and Ernest said that's right. Right. So, dogs are us. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, James. I actually was watching the Conor McGregor fight, and I was commentating it. Yeah, so hey, I was surprised when Conor McGregor got stopped. Did you see the replay? Did you?
Yes, I did. But
Oh man,
now I'm wondering what you doing commentating the MMA fight when you the first one to talk about MMA stars taking all the money from boxing.
yeah. Hey, you know what?
It's-
Hey, look, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's funny you said that because I've been actually beefing with Jake Paul trainer Jadion Love because I said instead of Jake Paul picking on a basketball player, former basketball player who has no experience, I said step up to the big dog. You know what I mean? And we can glove up. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, it's really yeah, he was really upset about that. So we've been going back and forth on Instagram. You got to go look at what we was talking about, and on Twitter. So we were
well,
going real hard.
but he went after a kid that's oh
Yeah,
wait, are you talking about the J Paul, or are you talking about the one that fought Nate Robinson?
yeah, yeah.
Because
No, I'm talking about Jake Paul. SB,
one
we
is
got no, not to cut you off
one
though.
is Jay and one is
Yeah,
Jake, right?
yeah, exactly. One is Jake. Yep, absolutely. So look, we got to get back to this conversation because it was very interesting. We got Mike McAtee from USA Boxing. We got him on the live.
You mean Mike McAtee?
Yeah, Mike McAtee. Yep.
No. Good
Hey,
evening, sir. How are you doing?
Doing excellent, King. How are you? Hey, K9, how are you?
how you doing, buddy? I'm good, man. I miss you, brother. I miss, like Don King be telling me, I miss you, man. Come on back home. Yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
Good. We're waiting to get back to boxing. That's for sure. You know, be able to see everybody live and at our events. How's your son? Doing well?
Yes, he's doing well. We registered last night, so hopefully, if somebody drops out because you're overbooked, we can get a fight, in March.
Excellent. No, I think that'll be fantastic.
Yes, 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 yes. I love the way you guys put on shows, and it to me it's better than NCAA. Like you guys do a better job than the NCAA. I mean, it should be rewarded. Y'all should be in get some awards. You should get some recognitions. Like they should do boxers who get trophies like they do with the Oscars and the Emmys and stuff. And they should, NCAA should get a trophy. USA Boxing should get a trophy. Showtime and the Zone. All of us, man. I think we should do something like that. I think that'll really be real big and it help put boxing where it needs to be at all times.
Yeah, that's great. I think, and it's a team effort. You've been to our tournaments, you have over 800 boxers, for our national championships that we're going to have down in Shreveport in March. We already have 1,500 boxers registered to go, but it takes great coaches at the grassroots level. It takes dedication of our boxers to train. It takes all our volunteer officials and the staff in the office. So, everybody knows boxing is an individual sport, but it's a team sport to put on a excellent event. Yes, yes. So what did you run into this jive turkey right here? Where you meet this jive turkey at? James King. He always coming up with all the good guests, and you supposed to be my man's, but he ended up getting you on the show before I did. Unbelievable. Yeah. But we had Mike Campbell on the show too, though. So actually, when he said Mike, I'm thinking he was talking about Mike Campbell, but he was talking about Mike McAtee. Ah, yes, he's talking about the man. Right. What's your position in USA Boxing? I have the privilege to be the executive director. My job is the day-to-day operations from our grassroots coaches and boxers all the way up to, helping our high performance when it comes to our elite athletes and our Olympic qualifying team. So I get to do a little bit of everything when it has to do with USA Boxing, but I think the best part of the job for sure is our national events and actually being able to see our coaches and see our boxers perform, seeing 8-year-olds that are just amazing all the way to our elite boxers that, the best in the world. We're very fortunate. Oh yeah, I'm glad you said that because that leads me to the next question. Who can you actually remember that you have a privilege to watch growing up as a kid, saw them fight, came through your ranks, became a world champion, won a gold medal? Give us some of your top five fighters that you saw come through the USA Boxing that you had a chance to see and witness that's actually great now or great from yesterday. That question is going to age me a little bit, but I'll start. Obviously, my top two: Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. Wow. I can tell you, as a kid, once they, I didn't watch them at the Olympic Games, but I was able to watch their careers later on. It inspired me. And what's funny is, my mom was the one who wanted me to be a boxer. So got me involved in it. And I remember listening to Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali on the radio. Wow. So that shows a little bit. Obviously, the 1984 team, all the great boxers from then, we did our best at the Olympic Games in LA, being able to watch them. And then Michael Carbajal, I had an opportunity to help train Tommy Morrison. So the 88 Olympic trials, Ray Mercer, just fantastic. Ray was at our national championships a couple years ago. Michael Carbajal. I mean, obviously easy one, Sugar Ray Leonard, that everybody aspired to be too. So, Pernell Whitaker, one of my favorite. He came down to our Junior Olympics in West Virginia, and we're gonna miss him, but one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah. So, wow, that's some good. So you saw what, Gervonta Davis, Clarissa Shields, like some of those fighters that's fighting today too, right?
Oh, of course. In Clarissa, she really is the W GOAT. She's the only American to ever win 2 gold medals, and then turning around and then being a world champion. She's, and just a fantastic trailblazer and leader in our sport, doing a fantastic job. Michaela's doing excellent right now. She wasn't able to win a medal, but she is a true Olympian, a great boxer. And then Franchon Cruz. Franchon's on our board of directors, and just a fantastic leader in our sport. So, it's nice to see everybody. Shakur and Nico Hernandez. So Nico's from Kansas, where I'm originally from, and it's only an 8-hour drive. I've been able to drive back when he's fighting in Kansas to go and see him. So, the list we could go through, all the great boxers, and of course you got Shannon Porter. If you're a pro boxer in the United States and you're a world champion, Terrence Bud Crawford, fantastic, does a great job, has a great gym in Nebraska. So they don't have to win medals. We got a fantastic alumni that turn out to be incredible pros, and just great mentors for our sport.
Yeah. Two more questions, and our great co-host James King gonna take over, because I know he's being very patient and it's hard for him to do that. Okay,
no worries.
Yeah. So Frank Tate, you said in 1984 the greatest Olympic team that we had was in 1994. Was Frank Tate a part of that? Because if so, guess what? He's one of the guests tonight.
Really? And yes, I believe Frank back then was fighting heavyweight, and that team just epitomized USA boxing and American boxing, and just dominated. I can tell you that our current team in Lima at the Pan Am Games, we had the only team that we had that many medals equal to was the 83 Pan Am team. So our current team is, competing at the same level as they were at the Pan Am Games back in 83. Then they turn around and just dominated in 84. So we're looking forward to Tokyo with our 13 Olympic qualifying boxers. And then, I think what everybody's excited for is LA 28, which we come back, we have home field advantage, and we all know that always helps.
Yeah. Now, for those that don't know, like, y'all very strict. When you at the Nationals, you get to the Nationals, that means that you actually done won. What did you have to qualify to get to the Nationals?
Times have changed since as we've evolved as a sport. But over the last 4 years, we changed the qualifying process from just an open tournament at our Nationals, that having a Western qualifier, an Eastern qualifier, taking our top 2 from each of those events, and then having the top 2 from the national championships the year before, and then 2 wild cards. So when you're in the top 8 of USA Boxing, that process starts over a year. And, we have 15,000, in a non-COVID year, we have over 15,000 registered boxers over the age of 18. So when you're in the top 8, you're some of the best boxers in the world, and you have an opportunity to represent the country. And then later on in life, if you decide you want to be a pro boxer or go on to business or whatever, that's the cream of the crop.
Yeah. I remember my son being there, boy. He made weight the first time. I think he was like a half a pound off. And it was like, sorry, you done missed it. it's really strict. Because you tell the people that's actually listening in that if you are not on weight, I wouldn't care if it's a quarter, an inch over a pound, you're not fighting. It's over with.
Rules are for safety and for fairness. And you're exactly right. I mean, we have Pee-wee boxers, 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, and they're held to the same standard as a 20-year-old elite. And if you're 0.2 pounds over, unfortunately, the rule's the rule, and you're disqualified. So, we're a weight management sport, but the main reason for that is just for health and safety of the boxer, so someone doesn't get an unfair advantage. And our boxers understand that it's a process, and we all know here are the set of rules. Everybody's going to be held to that same standard, and I think it goes to the toughness, the mental toughness of our sport, but it also makes people understand and respect that the person that's across that ring from you is going through held to the same standard, and you're going to be ready to go. So it's fair.
It's good for discipline too. At the same time, they got a trial scale, so they can get a chance to see how much they weigh before they get on that scale. So if you're overweight, you better go get off that weight. Go jog, go jump rope, go spit, use some gum, take some spits, go use the bathroom, whatever it takes. But when you get on that real scale, after the trial scale, you better be on weight. You can be under, but you can't be over.
Exactly.
Now, James, go ahead, James. Thanks for your patience, buddy.
Good evening, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing great, James. Thanks for having me on your show.
It's a team effort here. It's me and K9. But you kind of took me back a little nostalgia there when you were talking about listening to the fights on the radio. So I'm going to kind of take you back there with the sport. K9 asked you about the qualifications, but back in the day when we had the different golden gloves, like the New York City golden gloves, for instance, and I think it was a little harder than it is to qualify today. But I want to ask you, because do you find that because we have less funding now from the PALs and the different organizations that we used to, do you find it much harder to get not just the fighters involved, but the organizations that actually sponsor USA Boxing?
No, it's a great question, and I do think times have changed. I mean, 100 years ago when I boxed, it seemed like there were more boxers, but we also had less sports. And I think that's a big thing. USA Boxing, like other national governing bodies, we're the only country in the world that the government doesn't support us financially. So when it comes to our funding, about 65% of our funding comes from USA Boxing membership dues, from our coaches, from our officials, from our boxers. And then we do get funding from the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee for high performance. So you're right, in those non-tax donations, or those nonprofit organizations that get tax donations, like PALs that are fantastic organizations, Boys and Girls Club. They're doing a lot of things with less money, especially in some of our neighborhoods that are challenged, tough neighborhoods. So, anything that we can do to help youth, I think it's an investment in all of our future. And those are great organizations. And quite frankly, K9 can attest to this, and we got, 30,000, 36,000 registered boxers. It's a different sport. And it takes a unique person, a unique male, a unique female to put the gloves on, climb through the ropes, wait for that bell to ring, knowing full well that person's going to come right across the ring and punch you in the mouth. I mean, it's the beauty of our sport. And that's why I think so many people are just marveled at wanting to see our sport. You know, there's more movies made about the sport of boxing than any other sport out there. So that's why we have great champions. We have great legends because, you know, in our sport, we're just different. Boxing people are just different. And I think we should all be proud of that.
Yes.
Speaking about the health of the boxers and knowing that we're in the middle of this pandemic, you have young fighters from, I think, what'd you say, from 8 up to 20 years old. So these fall within different parameters as far as this COVID vaccine is concerned. How are you able to regulate that and put on tournaments? And are you going to have any live audience at the tournaments?
Great question. And just to be clear, at our national championship that we're going to have in March, we'll have from 8 to 39-year-olds. But the beauty of boxing, and we have masters boxers all the way up to the age of 79. So once you get in your blood, it's a little hard to walk away. But I can tell you that working with the USOPC, the Olympic Committee, our physicians committee, our coaches committee, and then also with our partners in the medical field, what we in Metro New York came out with the best slide, and I use it all the time. And using a boxing metaphor, we're using the Swiss cheese defense. What I mean by that is, you know, they're in one thing that's going to protect us from COVID. But if we wear our masks, that's one slide, one slice of Swiss cheese. We wash our hands, that's one slice of Swiss cheese. We test, that's one slice. You put enough slices of cheese in there, you're going to be pretty safe. So at our national championships, we worked with our local boxing leaders, our local boxing committee leaders. We've been able to, last year, we had over 60 test events, over 1,000 bouts with some limited spectators, and we had no COVID spread. So we're going to keep using that defense. We will decide, I believe our cutoff date is going to be in the next few weeks about spectators, but in Shreveport, Louisiana right now, there are limited sizes for spectators. So we're planning on no spectators or very limited. Even though we're going to have 1,500 registered boxers, we're going to have 4 rings. It'll be our biggest boxing event. However, it'll be the lowest number of people in at one time. So what we're going to do is create, you know, instead of having 3 coaches in the corner, you're going to have a maximum of 2. So we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to social distance. We'll use PPE. But more importantly, if we have parents, obviously, or grandparents or the friends back home that want to see us, we're going to do more on our live streaming. So we're excited about it. We're going to be able to hold a safe event. We're partnering with Shreveport and their sports commission, which are fantastic, Shreveport and Bossier City. So we're very confident that we're going to be able to put on a quality boxing event. Also acknowledging that in this COVID environment, and we have people that are at risk, to be able to do it safely for them and protect our families when we go home.
Will vaccinations be mandatory?
Oh, it won't. You know, we're talking March, you know, and depending on the state, some levels right now are in 1B. We're going to highly recommend people get vaccine when they come available, especially a lot of our coaches and our officials are getting up there in age, and, you know, but that's a personal choice. So we can't make it mandatory. I can tell you that the USOPC and the International Olympic Committee will not mandate it because it is personal choice. Some people have personal reasons or religious reasons of why they wouldn't take a vaccine. But we do plan on doing some before you get there, COVID testing, and then having health surveys that everybody's going to have to take And then we are looking at different levels of possible testing boxers before they compete.
The reason why I asked that, I mean, what would happen if one boxer, would a boxer be disqualified if he didn't want to fight someone that wasn't tested?
Well, we're going to make it a fair, it'll be equal across. So if we have the ability to, and let's say that, and I'm a hypothetical question, if we do require testing, then people will be required to test. If they refuse the test, then they would not be able to participate.
Okay. And going back to the management part of the tournaments, you're saying, you're talking about a March, your first show. This is going to be your first show in March, right?
It'll be our first national championship. We had to postpone our national championship in December. And then so we postponed it into March, but we have boxing going on right now at the local level. So we have test events where our LBC leaders are checking their COVID protocols, and boxers are going to be able to participate. We've had boxing matches in Florida. The Florida LBC is working very hard, and we got several LBCs in Texas that are putting on shows. We just got notification today that they're getting ready to start boxing up in Montana. So even in the COVID environment, we've had fighter mentality. Our boxers, our coaches are resilient. Even if it's required to work out outside. Our Olympic qualifying team last year, we had them training on tennis courts. We had them training outside. We had them training in ballrooms. So being able to train and being able to compete, we've been able to do it safely.
So the facility in Colorado is back open full time?
No. The Olympic Training Center, Olympic Paralympic Training Center is closed. It has very limited access. So, the quote, the movie, failure is not an option. And our boxers are ready to go. We have they all came out here on the 14th. We have them in camp. So we have our Olympic qualifying team, our alternates and training partners, and we've set up our gym in an abandoned department store in a mall.
Right. I saw that article. Yeah, that's what made me get you guys on. I was actually looking at that article.
We took we broke down 4 boxing rings at the Olympic Training Center, hauled them over, set them up, moved our heavy bags over, took all our strength and conditioning, set it up, and our boxers are embracing it. They know that time's ticking, and we're focused on moving forward, and we just can't wait around for somebody else. It's our job to give them an opportunity to fulfill their dreams. And you talk to some of these young boxers, at 8 and 9 years old, they were thinking about Olympic gold. And it's our job to get them the proper training so they can try for that once, for most people, once in a lifetime dream.
You talk about Olympic gold. We've seen, different things from Tokyo. Do you know exactly what we're going to do as far as the Olympics? Are we going to field an Olympic team? Travel restrictions and all that. I mean, what do you think about the upcoming Olympics?
I believe it's going to happen. And what we've been told, and from Sarah Hirschland, who's the CEO of the USOPC and is, doing a fantastic job, it's going to, we believe the Olympics will happen, but it's going to look a lot different. Just like our national championships, there's going to be protocols in place, even if it's limited fans, maybe the opening and closing ceremonies are going to be not as crowded. But everybody's working towards the Olympic Games. It's the biggest show on earth. You know, there's our coach, Billy Walsh, who's from Ireland, always makes the comment there's 328 million Americans, which is pretty good. But there's 6 billion people in the world. And, you know, in 3 billion of them are going to turn into the Olympic Games. So I think it's a great opportunity for our boxers to inspire Americans during this tough time and show them that, hey, Americans, we're here to fight and we're going to win and we're going to compete. But I also think it helps the rest of the world that we can overcome this pandemic, and we're resilient, and we're going to keep moving forward. And I think boxers should lead the way.
Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight, Mike, especially with such short notice. We got in right there under the wire. K9, do you have some last questions for Mike?
Oh man, Mike, I look forward to seeing you. Hopefully my son be able to fight because like I say, they overcrowded, so we on a waiting list. I mean, as soon as you register, they say waiting list, buddy. You got here early if you want to see Hurley. So I just wanted to say, man, I appreciate you. I tried real hard to you know, to see if I can get my son to go lose the weight, and you was like, I just can't do it. And you know, I gave you that look like, man, but I'm a former world champion. You was like, just can't do it. So well, no favoritism, none of that. I appreciate you keeping it 100. You know, so even though I was upset, we paid all that money to be out there, but what's fair is fair, what's real is real, and what's right is right. So I appreciate that, man. So thank you, man, for being on the show.
Well, thanks for the opportunity. And, you know, especially as a pro, you get that call at any time. You got to be ready to go and make your mark in the world. So, you know, be ready. And again, this is only going to be the first step in this year. We're looking forward to Junior Olympics, which is going to be in July down in Lubbock, Texas. And then we're going to be back in the great state of Louisiana in December. So we're getting a lot of boxing going on. Golden Gloves are going to be firing up. So he's going to have plenty of opportunity to compete. And, you know, we're excited. I think this 2021 is going to be probably one of the better years for USA Boxing and our coaches and our officials and, of course, our boxers. So appreciate the opportunity to be on the show. And, you know, James, I'm going to give you a little hard time because my Kansas City Chiefs are going to be and Patrick Mahomes are going to be playing next Sunday.
Hey, you know, I bow down. You know, I have nothing. The only thing I'm going to be upset about is if you don't bring the trophy back. That's what that, you know, you got to keep it in the AFC. That's the only thing, you know. Now, if you don't do that, I might be giving you a call a little later on. But anyway.
One more question before you leave too, though, because a lot of people, like when you were amateur, like in NCAA, amateurs didn't get paid. You know, they wouldn't allow you to get paid. If somebody gave you some money, they would get in trouble for it. The actual basketball player get in trouble for it. And USA Boxing, if you make it to the Olympic team, don't you get some spikes, some stifers for that? You get like a monthly check or something like that. How does that go? How does that work?
And you know, we do have a process for doing it, and it's based on and our board of directors and the USOPC has really been supporting our athletes. Not only do they get a monthly stipend, but they also do get health insurance and things like that. So things have changed quite a bit over so they can focus on training and then again, if they win medals, they get paid more. They also have opportunities on ambassador stipends and things like that. So we're actually going to be publishing information about that coming up, and some boxers are able to be able to live and train so they can focus, and that's one of our goals. And you know, we don't differentiate between our male and female boxers. They get paid the same because they both feel pain. They both bleed red, but they both get a hit in the mouth. So, you know, we're going to keep moving forward.
Yeah, well, appreciate you. I don't know if you got any social media or anything, but any last words before we let you go?
Thanks for an opportunity. We're back to boxing, and we're going to have a great 2021, and looking forward to seeing you. James, hopefully you can make one of our events sometime.
Yeah, maybe us old timers can go out and talk about when they had real fights on TV with the horsehair gloves and stuff. Stuff Kate and I don't know nothing about. Back before his day.
I'm a little older than you think, buddy.
James, did you do the same trick of taking your horsehair filled gloves and packing them down before you got in the ring?
Hey, I got in the ring one time, and my father took me home after that. But that's a different story.
Oh man!
But hey, it was great meeting you, Mike. At last, I'm having somebody on here that's semi close to my age, anyway. But another guy that I'm sure you're familiar with around our age is Pat Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Pat out here in San Diego all the time, and he's always involved. So thank you so much once again, Mike, and I appreciate having you on, and we look forward to having you back when things start happening, man.
Excellent. Just to give you a heads up, we're going to be having our Olympic qualifying team hopefully in April down in Chula Vista, and maybe you could be our guest to come down and see our Olympic qualifying team work out. We're probably going to have some other nations down there working out with them, and it'd be great to have you.
Oh, most definitely. I will be glad to accept that invitation. I'm right here in San Diego. All you have to do, is whistle. I'll be there. No problem.
Yeah. All right, Mike McAtee.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McAtee. You have a good day.
All right. We'll see you, K9.
Okay, buddy. See you later. Cheers.
All right.
All right.
Oh, man. That's going to be a treat there, man. Chula Vista is not too far away. I can get down there. I can't wait, until they start opening things back up, because, your boy Canelo trains up here too, in San Diego. So,
Yeah. Say it again.
Canelo, he trains out here in San Diego. So
that California love.
Yeah. San Diego, of course, the weather's right. They don't, train 365 days a year, So, we got our COVID crisis, but, people are doing, starting to get, they're starting to get accustomed, people, first of all, you can go outside, that makes a big difference too, so guys can get in the road work and all that stuff, Okay, now I see like Mo Bunny Paul, you like that hat, huh?
Yeah.
So tell them, hey, don't you have a website where you sell them things? Huh?
You say what again now?
So don't you have a website where you can set where they can buy that gear and stuff?
Man, K9 Boxing Fitness. So you can go to K9 Boxing Fitness and you can get the sweaters, the t-shirts, the gloves. I mean, I got all kind of merchandise at K9 Boxing Fitness. But DM me first, because I'm still actually getting a new website developed and everything. So I have it, but I haven't put on everything that I'm selling. But if you DM me, I got everything in the basement. I will send it to you fresh. fresh. Yes, I got a gang of things. Yeah.
Okay, Mo Bunny. Yeah. So now you know. Let's see. Who's next? I believe Mr. Tate is next, but I got it. We also we were talking about the gentleman that he's sick tonight, but he'll be back next week, and that's McQuan Williams.
Yeah,
McQuan also won his fight, so we'll have all winners on the show. I'm also trying to get Mr. Ortiz in. He's going to be fighting, so we're going to have a full show next week, and then February 9th, I booked Zerto, Gilberto Ramirez, because he's supposed to have a fight And if they don't, get the well, it goes to purse bid February 7th. If there's no, what do you call that process before that?
Okay.
And so I brought him on February 9th to see whether or not, because he would be next in line to fight Canelo. And he is, he's on social media and everywhere else, talk about, I want this fight with Canelo. He's the gentleman, that you always get mixed up when I tell you that he's 41-0.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So he'll be on February 9th, and
Okay.
we'll know about exactly how his next fight went. Muskegon will be on next week. Like I said, along with McQuan.
Yeah.
And the young man Gilberto Ortiz. We got a filled up show next week. K9, what's going on up there in Detroit? Every time I call you, you up there, you training somebody, or
Man.
you out doing your thing. What's going on? Evidently, you got snow tires on that buggy.
Yeah, it actually snowed pretty good. It snowed pretty good today. I was actually in a gym training someone, and man, I went outside, boy, to get in the car when it was time to go, boy, and it was ice pedals. It was ice everywhere. So I had to warm it up. You know what I mean? Hit the antifreeze, and let it the ice kind of dry a little bit, and use my windshield wipers to get it off my the windows. But I kind of adapt to the weather. I've been here so long. I've been in Detroit all my life. So, you here 47 years, you kind of get used to it. Last year I was a little soft. You know what I mean? I wasn't the K9 that won more titles. But I'm back. You know what I mean? I fought a couple of months ago, and I actually might be fighting March the 6th. So, that weather ain't scaring me. I'm back to, my Rocky days. I'm the Black Rocky. So, hey, look, I'm straight, man. I ain't even thinking about it. You know what I mean? I'm ready to, get back to work. Like I say, I've been going live, man. I don't know if you've been tuning in. No, you probably haven't, because only thing you care about is a dog pound.
No, actually, we have to put a lot of things up on the Dog Pound, our Facebook page, as well as the Weekend Wrap.
Yeah.
We still have fans. We still have subscribers. So we still have to keep up on that page.
Yeah.
Luckily, though, now my work's kind of cut in half because of SB. She handles the Dog Pound, so now I can I can do my sports thing, I can do my political thing, and it frees me up. But a lot of the people on the internet might be a little angry with you because I when it comes to that politics, I'll be down. It's like don't.
Yeah.
I'll be like Rap Brown and Huey Newton. Don't bring me that bullshit. But that's a whole different. That's a whole different story.
Right.
But one of the things that I am glad to see, is the way that USA Boxing is going about this COVID thing. Because whether you had the vaccine or not, I do think that you should be tested just to be aware of the person across the ring from you.
Exactly.
So I mean, I can't. I don't want anyone to get ill, because of the sport of boxing. I mean, it's just like you don't want anyone else. You wouldn't want anyone, to have to die in the ring.
Yes.
Whether it was from COVID or a blow to the head.
Right.
The most important thing is making that everybody is safe, and I'm especially my attention was on the youngsters, especially those below the age of 16 years old.
Yeah.
And being in a mix with, people, like you say, I mean, you talking about people older than me, man. I mean, so,
Yeah.
I mean, and some of us like to get around and do things, I mean, everybody you see over the age of 70 doesn't have a rascal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you
Right.
know, so yeah, but I'm glad to see things are going back, and hey,
Yes.
I can't wait until they come down here in Chula Vista, man. I'll uh, definitely be glad to go down there and see some of the youngsters, and
Yeah.
mix with some of the kids that are possibly going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Olympics, it does seem like the Clarissa Shields bout is on.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about whether it's going to be in Michigan? Is it going to be in Detroit? Have you heard anything about the
Yeah.
location or
Yeah.
anything?
So yeah, the fight that Clarissa Shields is about to have is on pay-per-view, and it's in Flint, Michigan. It's in her hometown. So I
And
actually thought
it's an all female card.
all female card. So
Oh,
yeah, I actually thought that the card, I mean, her next fight was going to actually be an MMA ring. I thought they were going to do MMA because she was training hard with John Jones and I forgot the other young lady she was training with, but yeah, they were actually training hard and making videos and having fun, and she signed a contract to do some MMA. Next thing you know, she was back in the ring. So I mean, Salida Promotions doing a great job with her. She's been loyal to Salida too, because someone thought that she wasn't getting the fights because of her promoter. So she went live with him and set the record straight. Both of them set the record straight. It wasn't him. It was the networks or it was whoever it was. So, she said, forget it. I'm gonna do some MMA. You know what I mean? And they got now where you can actually live stream. If you notice that I fought and it wasn't, the higher end of the pay-per-view where where you had to pay $70 some like to see like Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. You can pay 19.99, 29.99 to see Carissa Shields or Cornelius K9 Burgess. So it's affordable. I mean, it's someone that's a world champion, whether it's a former world champion, and it's a way to make money for all parties and to stay active. Because in boxing, you want to stay active. The longer you stay out the game, the more rust you end up having, and the more vulnerable you are. I lost title every time I lost a title, and that's good to say, lost a title. You know what I'm saying? It was always because of the rust. Inactive, and as you get older, it really gets harder for you, especially if you're in there with someone that that really wants to fight you. Like Charlo wanted to fight me so bad. He was, man, you know what I mean? I ain't thinking about no Charlo. I wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather. I was on that level because I was getting older. You get older, you ain't thinking about them young cats. You like, they're in the rearview mirror. I'm looking through the windshield. You know what I mean? So
Ronnie Shields wanted to fight you.
yeah, exactly.
It
I'm not
wasn't
Ronnie Shields. Right. James
I mean,
King
I'm
wanted
not,
to fight me. I was like, James,
no.
we both old, bro. We have to be fighting.
If you remember, during
Yeah.
that time, Ronnie Shields was a part of the Weekend Rap,
Okay.
and so I knew about your fight with Charlo probably about
Wow.
5 or 6 months before you did. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as who they wanted to fight.
Yeah. Wow.
But and at that time, you were a beast.
Yeah.
You kind of like you say, you kind of let yourself get rusty, and
Yeah.
I don't know whether you underestimated Charlo or
Yeah.
maybe it might have been that bank account. Putting all them
Yeah.
dollar signs. It might have been that too.
Right. The relaxation. See, when you go from nothing to having something, you get it. You be like, wow. By the
Well,
next
hey,
they like, wow, I want to get it. You know what I'm saying? So,
didn't Marvin Hagler say it best?
yeah.
It's hard to be a champion when you're sleeping on silk sheets.
Yeah. Exactly. I started sleeping on silk sheets, boy. It got harder for me. But
See,
truth be told too, though, is that I did have an injury when I was actually sparring Anthony Durrell and got caught with a good body shot. I don't know why I was in there. You know, I had that crunk mentality where if anybody want to fight me, spar me, I'll spar anybody. And I'm getting ready for a world championship fight. At the time, I was a current world champion. He wasn't. I shouldn't have even sparred him. You know what I mean? Because it makes sense. You know what I mean? It messed my money up. So now I go into a fight wounded. Oh, I'm a wounded dog versus a lion. You know what I'm saying? A lion's, whatever they call it. So lions only. And I should have did it. But I see we got Frank Tate in the queue. Yeah, so we'll have Frank Tate on in just a minute. Yeah, but man. So James, you can't go in there with a guy that's probably better than you or a guy that's on your level and he's fighting, you're not fighting. And and he's thirsty and you're not as hungry. And you looking to go forward and he's looking to take what you got. I mean, now they say stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Ladies and gentlemen,
you're in the show.
we have a 2-time former world champion and a gold medalist, Frank Tate. Frank Tate the Great. Hey Frank, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
That you have a bad connection.
Hey, K9, I have a bad connection, man. I can hear nothing you saying.
Oh wow, I can hear you. I can hear you. You got any earphones? You might need some earphones.
Every time you talk, it just flutters.
Oh, earphones. You need these.
He might not be able to hear us.
Yeah, that's what
I'm saying. I can hear you real well now.
Okay.
You hear me real well now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right, so what's happening, man? Appreciate you coming on, man. As a world champion, it's hard to get a world champion on at the very last minute. I mean, I called you and you was like, man, I'm on. Normally I say, baby, I'm a world champ, bro. What's wrong with you?
Well, no, we both from IBF, baby. You know how that go.
IBF brothers, so, right? Yeah, we stick together.
I ain't gonna turn nothing down. I wasn't doing nothing anyway. I'm at home trying to stay safe and stay out of trouble. You know how it goes.
Yeah. They go
going on COVID.
Yeah. Hey, so look, we have James King the third. He's the co-host of the show. Me and him, we co-host together. We Dawg Pound. We appreciate you being on the show. We had you on the show before, but it was blog talk. We didn't get a chance to see you.
You fluttering again.
Yeah. I actually hear that. I hear it actually on your end now.
He might be on speaker.
Yeah. Are you on speaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to go off speaker. Get off speaker and yeah. You need to talk on your regular phone.
No, I'm not
off speaker.
No, I ain't on my speaker. No.
Oh, okay. Might just be a bad connection.
Yeah. I guess it's just a bad connection.
No,
I don't know if you remember that group called.
Straight through.
It's a bad connection. You said what now?
I can hear him a little bit.
Okay.
I said it's just probably a bad connection, but I can hear you a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Glad to meet you, sir.
I'm glad to meet you. Like I said, the last time we were just talking, we couldn't see each other.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. James, go ahead. Start them off. James, you want to talk to the champ, man, and I start off with the last guest first. Go ahead, talk to James. Talk to Mr. Frank Tate.
Well, glad to have you on. First of all, champ. Our first guest that we had on was talking about that 1984 Olympic team. Give us some of your memories from that.
Hey, it might be your headphones. You took them off or something. You did it adjusted real right, but now it's real funny. I just heard 84. That's the only thing I heard.
Yeah, you said. Hold on. You said what again now? You good now?
I can't hear nothing.
Okay.
No, I can't hear you.
Okay.
How did we
Every
connect?
time you talk, it just stutter.
Yeah, you might need to go off and reconnect. Maybe you need to probably do that because y'all can hear it make a little fluttery noise, and I don't know what it is. But our last guest, it wasn't like a fluttery or nothing. Huh?
Yeah. Turn just shut down and come back on. Yeah.
Yeah, shut down, come back on.
Okay.
Yeah. Frank Tate in the building. We got champions after champions live. Yeah, so yeah, he's trying to step back instead of there you go. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing about, like I said, this in the age of technology, man, sometimes, you have those bad connections. And it also depends upon your carrier too.
Yeah. So I think that was SB told me that was his actually his line, not ours. That was him.
Yeah, that's why I said, it might have been depending on what hookup he was using.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, see, he said that's coming from Frank's side.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Jose, glad to see you, man. You always tune in.
Yeah.
Very loyal listener there, man. Shout out to Jose.
Yes, real one. Okay, yep. Yeah, so Frank, Jose said what you probably need to do, you probably need to quit moving your phone. Just leave it at one spot.
I ain't moving at all. I got to
say
Can you hear us?
I'm gonna get back my router for my Wi-Fi. See if that'll work.
Okay. Yeah.
Get back this.
What's up, best device?
Say something now.
Yeah, what kind of phone you have?
Well, like I said, I mean, it could be anything from his Wi-Fi to
Yeah.
So sometimes
getting older, it could be getting a little older. Well, ain't no excuses. We get 13.
You did something earlier at work.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear me? And you was like, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah,
you did something. I can hear you.
Yeah. At first, you know what I did? I asked you, did you have some earphones? I said, I did like this. I said, you got any earphones? I did like this. And hocus pocus, it was good. Right. Yeah.
Frank, can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have to. Yeah, we might have to have you. Yeah, exactly. I feel say we might have to have him on another time because it's real bad. SB says real bad, so we might have to have him on another time and let him learn. How to. He got to. Practice. He got to practice how using it.
Well,
maybe.
Here's a little tip for the people that we invite on the show.
Yeah.
Just in case you don't have earphones.
Yes.
One of the things that you can do as soon as SB sends me the link to the show.
Yeah.
And I invite you on as a guest, or K9 invites you on as a guest. You can go in and actually test the link and make sure that it works.
There you go.
I mean, you won't come on live in that, but it'll show you on the camera and the mic, and it'll help you adjust your mic and all that.
Yeah.
You can actually test all that out before you come on the show.
There you go.
That's why I like to send the link to our guests a little bit ahead of time, just in case they're not familiar with it, and then that they can go on and
So we give them another strike. We give one more chance. 3 strikes and you out. We just have to talk. Look, right. Who the pitcher? You the pitcher? The bat is Frank Tate, and the pitcher is James King. Frank, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sounds better now. Frank, I was asking you about your memories of the 1984 Olympic team.
Hey, man, we was all a family. That's why we were so successful. We all cared about one another. The greatest Olympic team of all time. You had a bunch of guys that come out the hood from all over the world, and we wanted to win gold medals to prove to ourselves and the world that we were the best out there in that weight class in that competition. They was talking about because the Russians and the Cuban wasn't there, but I beat them both. The number one Russian and number one Cuban, and it didn't matter to me. I wasn't gonna miss out because they didn't show up.
Hey,
and we had a bad team.
Who was your roommate?
I had Holyfield, Mark Breland, and Steve McCurry.
Oh man,
Steve was a bad man, wasn't he? Yeah, you said Steve McCurry. Who else you had? Mark Breland and who else?
Evander, I thought he said.
And Holyfield.
Oh, hey, a lot of people sleeping on Steve McCurry. Yeah, Steve McCurry didn't get a chance to get all the accolades the other artists had got. But can you tell us a little bit about Steve McCurry, Bill McCurry's brother? How good was he? Frank,
I can't hear nothing you saying.
How good was Steve McCurry? How good was Steve McCurry?
Steve McCurry was my man. We both from Detroit.
Yeah.
We the only two from Detroit that won a gold medal.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. Good guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
His brother's world champion, McCurry.
Yes.
None but the best come out of Detroit. Guys all over the world. Henry Tillman, Paul Gonzalez, Whitaker, Biggs,
absolutely. Yeah. We probably got it.
Guys from a couple of cities.
Yeah, Frank, we gonna have to have you on again because it keep on fluttering and making that noise when people are standing really can't hear you. We can hear you a little bit, but
let's do it. Let's do it. This weekend, and we'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll tap in, man. You'll go live, and we'll have you on next Tuesday. Yeah. 3 strikes like Frank is eating a good bowl of cereal. Man, exactly. With the NFL game not being on. Oh my goodness. He got to get his makeup artist lady together. I'm quite sure she help him with that. She need to help him with that phone, boy, because we had a bad connection, Unfortunately, man, it could have been weather. Who knows? I don't know where he at. I think he out there where it's hot at though. So,
I don't think he out here. Well, it's not hot out here right now anyway. So that's a different story. We had a little rain out here now, so it's not really hot out here now. But
Hey, JK, I just thought of a good idea. I thought of it first though before SB brought it to my attention, but I ain't saying it. How about we send someone a link that's on our live, somebody that's faithful, man, and have them come on the live. Who you think could be good that we can have come on live? We send them a link, they send us the phone number, and when we send them the link, they come on live.
Well, I'm looking at Ricardo Medina here. He says I'm fighting in 6 weeks. I was in jail for 2 months, so I need to get ready fast. So let's see if we can talk to Ricardo here.
Ricardo, Ricardo. I mean, he need to send us a number or something. That's what he need to do.
I fought last in August and sparred a couple of weeks ago.
Okay,
but I'm not too out of shape. But I need to get in it really quick. So Ricardo Medina, why don't you send? Actually, if he's on Facebook Messenger, you can send him an instant message. You can send him a link, right there where you're inviting. Or you can copy it if he sends you.
SB sending him one right now. She sent him one. She sent him one just now.
Yeah, you see his name there too. I mean, his number.
Yeah. No, he don't even know he can erase that now because I think she sent him one. She just sent him one.
Okay.
Hit the link. All you gotta do is hit the link right there. Ricardo, hit the link. Ratio number for some deranged. Get that number. Oh, he gonna be world champ. Oh man, hold on. He a boxer?
Yeah, that's what I just.
No, I'm just saying. He might say he, she, no telling. Or he, she. It could be a she, he.
Now you're gonna get us thrown off the air, K9. You know.
No, I didn't say nothing bad about it.
President Biden just signed a bill today. You know, about you people. You know, putting like, see, come on, man. What's going on?
Right. Okay, there you go, Ricardo Medina. Hold on, we about to get you on, bro. You got to clean up the mess that Frank Tate just left.
Oh, what happened?
Hey,
all that noise in the background.
Yes, all that noise, man. You know, you got, you know what I'm saying? We got to get these young people on here because they know exactly how to work the live. Yeah, so we're just waiting for James King to tap back in because I don't know. Seemed like it was like hocus pocus. You just popped up and he popped out. Right. So
yeah, I was man, I just finished my workout.
Okay.
I was actually I fought Marlon over there at what was the gym?
Marlon. Hold on. Was that at Crunk Gym?
Yeah, that was at Crunk Gym.
Oh, that was you. I was commentating that fight.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Boy, hey, listen. Man. I thought you, man, hey, can't win them all. Let's just say that. Can't win them all.
Man, I look at it over and over again, man. That's something that just eats me up. And the only thing I can come to is that I felt like I gave him a little bit too much respect in the beginning.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, man. All them cameras and lights, they got to me at first, you know.
Okay. Wow. I'm gonna tell him his former opponent was on there talking about some. I want a rematch. Oh man. Hey, off that, listen, you actually made his stock go up because after that he signed a contract. You know what I'm saying? He signed with Salida Promotions. After that, and the manager of Clarissa Shields actually started managing him. So you helped him blow up.
Oh man.
Yeah. He blew up.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. So your last fight, how did you do your last? Did you recently just fought? You said?
No, I'm fighting in 6 weeks.
In 6 weeks. All right.
Yeah,
so
6 weeks.
Was there anything that you could learn from that loss that you had with Marlon? I mean, did it prepare you like mentally to let me go ahead and start being first, or starting faster, or taking boxing serious? What was the reason for the loss that you believe, other than he caught you with a good shot?
Other than the fact that he caught me with a good shot, what I felt like I did wrong was the nerves did get to me in the beginning. But you know, man, as an amateur, man, I mean, I would get nervous before every fight, you know.
I got you.
So stepping into the ring against this dude, I guess what I felt like I did wrong was we came up with the game plan.
Okay.
And right off the bat, I jumped into the ring, and my mind was stick to the game plan.
Yeah.
Instead of being who I am as a fighter.
Yeah.
Right. I'm more of a pressure fighter. I sit behind the jab, and I felt like what I didn't do wrong. What I did do was I sat at the end of his punches, and that's a hard hitting dude right there.
Yeah. Okay.
I felt like I should have moved forward right at the beginning and started working my jab to see how the fight would have played out after that. But it's a learning experience. Especially with all the cameras, man. You know, if I get to get in a position like that ever again, I know how I'm gonna react to it.
Okay. Yeah, James King. It's funny that this young man, Ricardo Medina, I actually commentated his fight at the Crunk Gym. And I thought he was going, he put up a good fight because he told me I think it was your amateur record. It was something that you told me. So I was like, ooh, it's gonna be, a good fight. But then, he told me, a little nervous, didn't follow the game plan, and You know what I mean? And I've sparred Marlon plenty of times. So if you go out there and be in front of him and allow him to get off, boy, oh boy, he's gonna get off on you. So, hey, it is what it is. I lost before and came back and bounced back. So, I learned from my losses. And if you learn from that one, then you're gonna be okay.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, James King. So yeah, so James King is back in the building, y'all. He went from Houdini to back in the game. He's back.
Yeah. It's funny that your name kind of stood out to me, there, Ricardo. What's your weight class, man?
So, man, my last fight was at 160. This next fight is gonna be at 160 as well.
Okay.
But after that, we're looking to move down to 154 and possibly 147
Yeah.
if I can stay strong and stay strong at 147.
Yeah.
I took this next fight at 160. It was kind of all we had available to choose from. We couldn't find any other fighters at lower than 160 with such a short notice.
Yep. Why do you think that Marlon, his people took the fight with you, and why do you think that you are getting these opportunities? Because you go out there, you lose, you get stopped, the phones ring right away. They look at you as an opponent. What are you gonna do your next fight to show them that you ain't one? And like I say, what did you learn from that can make you a better fighter? Because you don't want to go from one loss. What is your record, first of all?
Right now, the only fight I have is with Marlon, and
Okay.
so I'm 0-1.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're still a baby in the game, but you don't want to become your opponent. You got to go out there now. In your next fight, do you know who your opponent is and what is his record?
Right, it's a debut fight for him. His name's Luis Valera.
Okay.
He's from Odessa, Texas. This fight's gonna be in Houston.
Okay.
So
And is he from Houston?
No, he said
he's training. He's training in Houston.
Okay. Okay.
But he's from Odessa.
Yeah, he's from Odessa, Texas.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of good little fighters come out of there, especially Mexican fighters.
Yeah.
Do you have any tape on him as an amateur?
That's the one thing we couldn't find. Even the promoter wasn't able. Even the promoter wasn't able to find anything on him. But what we did find was that he did have a little bit of amateur background.
Okay.
But nothing that stands out. We couldn't find anything that he participated in nationals or anything like that.
Okay.
So this should be a good stepping stone fight for me to get back on path of where I want to be.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your amateur background, or do you have one?
Yeah, I have I had 67 amateur fights, and I only lost 12 of them.
Okay.
Hey, James King. That's the reason why I thought he had a good chance with Marlon. I ain't gonna lie. I thought you had it because you 67 amateur fights. I said, ooh. I said, boy. I thought you had a good one, but when you put them little bitty gloves on and take that hair glue off, anything can happen. And guess what? I'm gonna give you some good encouragement, something that can probably make you feel better. Bernard Hopkins lost his very first pro fight.
Man, that's honestly, that's right after the fight, about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I looked into Bernard Hopkins because I remember him losing his first fight.
Exactly.
But what he did was he lost his first fight. I believe it was at 168.
Yeah.
And he dropped down to 160.
Okay.
After that, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So you got to drop down to 154 then.
Yeah, I think that's what I need to do.
Yeah. I mean, they keep on. Like, let me ask you: Did you have anything on Marlon before you fought Marlon? Did you have anything on him? Did you know anything about him?
Yeah, I knew he participated in Golden Gloves Nationals, but that didn't scare me, man. Because I mean, I fought at the under-19s. I fought, I fought at the PALs.
Yeah.
I fought at the U.S. Championships back in 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
So I fought on the All Marine Corps team, so I wasn't worried about his amateur record.
Right.
And when we got in the ring, I wasn't even worried about his height. You know, I knew he was taller than me.
Yeah.
You know, he looked bigger than me. I wasn't worried about it. But like I said, I think the mistake I made was standing at the end of his punches.
Man. Yep. Absolutely. Yep, man. You had to learn the hard way, but hey, trust me, they laughed at me a long time. I was on Showtime, lost on Showtime bad. I told them all bad, real bad. You know what I mean? But I won 2 world titles after that. So I care less about that. You know, you make up with that.
Right.
They say you're only good as your last fight. So you gotta bounce back, you know, and go from there.
Yeah, I hear you. So, I mean, as far as being when I came back, I was a little discouraged, but once I got back
Yeah.
into it and I looked at the tape and I saw what I did wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Right.
ready to get back in it. I had
Right.
a little situation where I was gone for a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's why I was asking what
Yeah.
would you
Yeah.
recommend with a short amount of time getting ready for a fight? What would you recommend? Would you recommend weight training or versus isometrics or isometrics over weight training?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, hey,
You know he's not asking me. I'm not a 2-time world champion.
I'm about to say James King he in better shape than me right now. He probably know.
What do you
No,
think,
I'm
Mr.
just playing
King?
with you. No, I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you, James. I think James King get in shape like this. All right.
I stay.
That's
Hey,
funny.
I stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
Yeah. Arm, he do the curl ups. So now let me ask you again. So your fight is in 6 weeks, you said, right?
Yeah.
6 weeks. So I think like when you say male metrics or whatever, if that's considered cardio, I would say cardio over lifting weights, because I mean you already got power. You already, you know, we was born with power. Anybody can punch and can fight. You need to work on your cardio. Get your cardio together. You know, do some like, you know, you got 6 weeks. That's a month and 2 weeks. Man, go out there and jog and then hit some sprints. You know, get your wind up, hit the sprints. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, you got, to me, if you already in some shape, you really got plenty of time. You already in some shape. Because to be honest with you, my last fight, which I didn't really look good in, I only trained for the fight for like 3 weeks, and I hadn't fought in 3.5 years. But
Yeah, I actually talked to Ron about that.
Yeah.
He said you did all right.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm a former 2-time world champ, and I fought against a guy with a low budget record. You know what I mean? You know, but you know, I put a lot of pressure on myself, you know, to be in there with certain guys. You know, that guy was supposed to, you know, go one round with me with the record he had, but he was a lot better than his record. But you know, I think you should how many miles are you running right now?
4 miles.
You're running 4 miles. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, for my fight with my young kid that I fought, I was actually running 9 miles. So I run 9 miles early in the week, then I run 9 miles at the end of the week. And on top of that, while I was running 9 miles, I would run sprints too. I would run sprints and then I jump rope. So, but I had someone running with me. I probably wouldn't have been able to do it by myself, but it was motivation. It was easier because I had someone running with me. And then I would cut back as I got close to the fight. I cut back. So I worked on my getting my legs real strong. I made sure my legs were strong. And then I would go to the gym and I would work at fast pace. You know what I mean? So I would do it like that. Yeah, I wouldn't do, like, when I go run miles like that, I'm definitely not sparring no hard work. I might go spar somebody that wasn't on my level just to get the reflexes together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Afterwards, you know, yeah. Now, you know, you can pick my brain a little bit more. You know, I'll tell you a little bit more. Just afterwards, leave your number. You know what I mean? Like, or I copy it off here and I'll give you some more of my little tricks. You know, people listening in, they can't just get all the good stuff. You know.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah.
So Ricardo, are you in shape or are you trying to get in shape?
I'm in shape, man. I just had a little situation where I was gone for 2 months. So when I came back, you know, I went right to the gym. I sparred. I was able to get in. I was able to get in, I think it was about 5 or 6 rounds, and I felt good.
Yeah.
You know, it was normal. I felt sore the next day, but I just want to get I don't like that feeling of getting in the ring and thinking like, oh man, I should have got my sprints in. Oh, I should have got my running in. Or, man, I should have hit those pull-ups the way like the coach told me to do. That's when I start second guessing myself. That's when things go bad.
Then what you should do is set you up a schedule. I mean, I know it sounds, very elementary, but you go back to the basics. You set you up a schedule. So I run so many miles today. I spar so many rounds. I work on my jab. I work on my basic techniques. Sometimes, especially I heard Marine Corps in there, so I know there's a certain amount of jarhead mentality in there. Now I'm just saying that because I'm a paratrooper, but anyway, when you get that, you have to kind of adopt that Marine mentality where it's balls to the wall every day, and then you don't have to doubt your training. If you go through the same training every day, it becomes repetitious. You know what I mean, especially going through the military, so you set a goal, and some days you want to exceed that goal. That's just that's how you become great. You don't want to be just average, you want to be great. And then if you want to be greater, then you pick a guy like K9 that has been 2-time world champion.
Yeah. Right.
But that's just advice from an old man, I've spent some time, the same place that you have. It was much more than 2 months, so I know how easy it is to get out of shape, and just because you in shape for that particular environment doesn't mean that you're in shape when you come out. So you have to kind of work. So you have to kind of work a little harder, because sometimes you'll fool yourself into believing that you're in better shape than you are. You come home with all the muscles and all that, and you talking, you flexing and stuff, and then you find out, well, that guy out there in the neighborhood, while I was only able to do a certain workout 2 or 3 hours there, he been working out 8-10 hours a day. So you already start out behind the 8 ball. Hey, be the cue ball. Right. Be the cue ball. Don't be the 8 ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, make sure my Instagram is K9 Boxing. DM me your number, and I can give you a lot of more insight or good things that can help you. One thing you want to do is get 3 good rounds with someone, then put someone in that's hard to hit, someone that's way faster than you, but somebody you're really not trying to knock out, but someone you're trying to just get fast with. Just try to keep up with their speed, because you're bigger than them. You probably can hurt them, but try to keep up with their speed. Okay. So when you go 3 hard rounds, then go in there with somebody that's faster than you, that's hard to hit. So if they move, and you got to move with them to keep up with them, and then all of a sudden they stay in one spot and they're able to hit you real fast, throw back real fast, match their speed, and that's going to actually help you as far as what your time is. Then afterwards, I appreciate that. Box. Yeah. Afterwards, shadow box, hit the punching bag, speed bag, jump rope, and hit the hit your core, and then go over the next day. Go over the next day. If you're a little sore from the running, don't run that day. Jump rope real good. Jump rope. You know what I mean? Mix it up, and go from there. Yep. Any other any last words? Any social media you want to let the people know that where you at, where they can find you? But definitely DM me at K9 Boxing so we can talk further.
Yeah, man. Right now, man, I don't mess with any social media.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll definitely set something up, that way I can hit you up on Instagram.
Yeah, do that, and and I got a lot of advice for you, buddy. I did it the hard way.
Man.
Made it.
I
appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, Dawg.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all for having me.
No doubt. My man's in them. Yeah. See, we good. See, had my man's on the live. You know what I'm saying? And we don't discriminate, Ricardo. James King, do we discriminate?
No, we do not discriminate.
Right.
I'm actually entering his information in my phone now, so we can get in touch with him. And keep up with his training, and also I can share the contact with you.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I want to help the young guys, man. I mean, that was one thing that Muhammad Ali did. I heard a story of Muhammad Ali, like while everybody were, surrounding the guy who won, and everybody was trying to be the guy who won, best friend. Muhammad Ali would go into the locker room of the person that lost and would give him some encouragement and help him with the confidence. Muhammad Ali was a real good dude. He was a lot better dude than people even give him credit for, and they give him a lot of credit. But that's the kind of guy I am. I like to be there for those that don't have no one for them. You know what I mean? The ones that people doubt or that they think that he won't become nothing. The underdog. Like myself, I was an underdog. No one thought I would be in a position I'm in and would have won 2 world titles. I mean, not even I thought that I would ever probably settle down and look at me married and faithful. You know what I mean? So you just never know. With God, all things are possible. But you just got to believe, have faith, and just do what's right, and right will come back to you quickly.
Yeah.
Or eventually.
Check your phone. I just sent you Ricardo's information. So maybe this we could make this a feature on the show. We just pick somebody, random out, and they can come in and talk with us. While you were talking to Ricardo, Vinny Roth had said that Henry Armstrong and Bone Crusher Smith. A lot of y'all might not know. See, now I know he has to be fairly up there in age. Bone Crusher Smith. If y'all remember Bone Crusher, he actually had a training camp in Warren, Ohio, and I've said this before because when he sold it, he actually sold it to Mike Tyson. But people that remember Bone Crusher was he was the first George Foreman, but he didn't have the success that George Foreman had. But there was a reason why they called him Bone Crusher. Like, when you see boxers with the name, I guess they should have named Chuck Webner Scarface, but you probably don't remember who Chuck Webner is, though.
I do. That's the one they actually made the movie out of Rocky for because of him, right?
Yeah. What was it? 103 stitches that Muhammad Ali put in his face.
Yeah.
The boy he cut real easy, and he never was the same after that. But so K9, you were talking about 2 things. First of all, you were talking about your son possibly getting back in the ring. And second of all, you were talking about this March 6th. Are you thinking about going back to Florida, or is this here? You getting yourself in line to make a comeback? I mean, isn't that going to be a little hard trying to work with your son also? We can't hear you.
Hello? Yeah, good.
Okay.
I want to answer this question real quick. Crying Hippie, why did you delete a comment he had a good comment? He deleted it.
Who?
Yeah. Crying Hippie had something else.
Crying Hippie. Amen, brother. Ali was humble and godly. That was the last one I saw from Crying Hippie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He deleted Jesus' comment. What? Jesus said something crazy. I don't know. Yeah.
Is he Puerto Rican? Did he train every day? I guess you might have been talking about.
Yeah. No, it was Yeah. Yeah.
Crying Hippie. He said he deleted something. Must be a mistake, brother.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, you're getting ready for your own fight, March 5th. I know, now that you've told everybody that you only train 3 weeks for your last fight. You just put that on out there. So
Yeah.
uh,
No.
eh,
Nah, I'm talking about now. To be honest with you, I always train. When I say 3 weeks, I'm really talking about I took it to the next level in 3 weeks. I was running. You ain't gonna be able to run on 9 miles if you ain't been training, 3 weeks. I was working out, but I'm talking about like I really started doing my sparring and everything in the last 3 weeks. I was really, I haven't fought in 3.5 years. So I was just getting my body together, but I really started training like really super hard as it got closer to the fight. I was already doing something.
now, you say you ran 9 miles, but when that little M show up, that means meters. Not miles. When the little M show up, that means 9 meters, not 9 miles.
Yeah. No, I ran 9 miles for real. I'm telling you, I ran 9. I was getting it in, boy, for real. Yeah,
Oh,
I got this park, that I actually go to where you run around it one time, it's a mile. Every time you run
okay.
around, it's another mile. I ran
Yeah.
around that nine times. It was 9 miles. Actually, I ran more than 9 miles. It's like a mile and a quarter.
Yeah, I used to have one of those when I was a little younger. There was a place that I ran it. Yeah, it was a mile circuit.
Yeah.
Now I'm not thinking about walking a mile, but
Yeah.
I don't But anyway, so as I was saying,
Yeah. Crying hippie,
trying
you
to
good. Yeah. Crying hippie said
trying,
he probably made a mistake. Yeah. You good, crying hippie, yeah.
I'm on the phone doing dishes. Crying hippie say he on the phing, he doing dishes, he's
Yeah,
running to the tablet. It's like,
oh man.
yeah. Crying here. I see why he crying now.
Right. No.
He must be Jamaican. He got a lot of jobs. I'm like,
Right.
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, K9 is not a pro fighter yet. No, he ain't there yet. Exactly.
Jose said to tell you that the game is meant to be sold, not told. K9.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I ain't heard that in a long time. Boy, he went way back in the playbook to find that one.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's a grandpa saying there.
Yeah.
Shoot,
Exactly. Yeah. Where my dog's at? Ooh. Yeah. I think Spider Moose is from UK. So he said, "What's up, lads?"
Man,
man.
Spider Moose, man, K9, he must really like you because it's got to be like about 4 o'clock in the morning over there, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he's faithful to the game, though.
It's 8 hours difference.
A basketball. Yeah, absolutely. He know we go live. They know we go live on Tuesday. You know what? One thing
what's his name? What's our English guy's name here? Because I want to know what he thinks about this Tyson Fury Joshua fight coming up, because it looks like that's going to happen rather than Deontay Wilder. Where is he?
Yeah, who you talking about?
Our English gentleman that was here.
Who? Man. That's
We got Matthew Armitage. He says he's from the UK. It's 3:49 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matthew, what do you think about the Joshua Fury fight? Throw some things up there. I want to hear from our English guys here. Fury's the best. That's Matthew Armitage.
Right.
He says Fury's the best.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Brian Hippie said, "Oh Jesus, boy." It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Fury all day long. Okay,
Yeah.
that's Matt again. But as I was saying, K9, how do you make sure that you and your son both get the proper training, and it doesn't become and it stays training and not a competition?
Well, like we don't, like, if he got a fight coming up and it's like a week before my fight, or I fight and my fight is a week after his, we just train together. So a family that trains together remains together. A family that prays together stays together. So, we just help each other. You know what I mean? He'll give me some pad work. I'll give him some pad work. He'll jog, I'll jog. I push him, he'll push me. And one day you never know. We probably fight on the same card. That might be my Gorway fight, and that'll be his pro debut. So I look
Hey,
forward to that happening one day. You know what I mean?
hey,
And
LeBron said he want to stay around long enough to play with his son. So hey,
he said that for real? Did he say
yeah,
that for real?
yeah. He say
Wow.
he want to stay around long enough to play with his son, which is probably about somewhere within the next 3 or 4 years, because his son is going. It's just a matter of whether or not his son could be a Laker.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But he said he would like to stay around long enough to play with
Yeah.
his son.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I'm going to ask you something. I know you, and I'm only asking you this because I know you don't know. And
Right.
if you know, I'm going to be mad as hell.
Yeah.
But I'm asking you this because next week I want you to tell the audience. Okay.
Okay. So what?
How many fathers and sons have become world champions?
Fathers and sons? Fathers. A father and son, or just
No, fathers and son. I mean, you got a good example. You took your title from
yeah. Come on, Leon
yeah,
Spinks and Corey Spinks. I know that one for sure.
right.
But I know Floyd Mayweather was a world champion. His uncle, not his dad. His dad was a good fighter.
I said father and son. I'm thinking of how these of a company it would be if you and your son both became world champions.
Oh, we can go back and forth. Go ahead. I said one. Who you give me another one? I got another one in mind.
I told you I don't know. That's the reason why I asked you, and I told you I'd have been, told you I'd have been mad if you knew, because that means that you was doing more research than me.
I mean, I could go off the head and tell you another one right off the jump. Tell you another one.
Okay.
Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Was Chavez Jr. ever a champ? I know he fought for a lot of championships, but was he ever a champ?
Yeah, I mean, go do the homework, but I definitely believe so.
Okay. He might have been champ for a couple of weeks, but I mean, I'm just saying, it had to only be for one fight, because he's definitely,
Yeah.
But I was just asking, just something, just something to think about.
Homework.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that fight, JK. Spider Moose, he's Irish.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You wanted to put him in the UK, man. You fool around and cause insurrection up here, man. You know how it is between the Irish and the British, man. Irish Catholic versus but Spider Moose is very he's very loyal also. But the Spinks.
Yeah.
Just the Spinks. I think that's brothers. I don't think. Well, like you say,
no. Leon Spinks and Corey Spinks.
Leon and Corey, and then I'm trying to think. I know there's got to be some Mexican other than Chavez. There has to be a couple others that we were thinking of. I was thinking of Medina.
Yeah.
Didn't Medina's father fight?
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah.
Carlos Medina? I don't think so. No, because he would have had more than 10 amateur fights. Yeah, he had it hard. He, you know what I mean? And remember, he got a country behind him. So if his
right, and Eubanks in England, Armitage. I think I know his son was. He was
that's a good one. Somebody Vince pulled out a good one. He pulled out a good one. Muhammad Ali.
Espinada, and I said that I knew there had to be some Mexicans that I was definitely.
Hey, look, Muhammad Ali and Layla Ali.
That's not a father and son. That's father and daughter.
Well, why discriminate? You know, we just got to talking about Clarissa Shields. She already got it hard. So now there we go. Let discrimination games begin. That's why she had her old lady card.
Well, yeah, hey.
Now you know why.
There's one guest that I'm actually trying to get, and it's a little hard, but when you talk about women's boxing, there's only one, I think, number one woman in the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
And that's Ann Wolfe.
Oh, you talking about of all time?
I'm talking about anytime, night, day, whenever, afternoon. You know, there's a reason why Layla Ali and Ann Wolfe never had a fight. And I'm not, I'm just saying, I'm not saying, but sometimes, when you see smoke, you call the fire department. You don't go and put the fire out. You know what I'm saying? You let somebody else put that fire out. You know what I'm saying? But I called the fire department. That was my job. But I would love to see to get Ann Wolfe on the show. Plus, she's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't know whether it's the State Hall of Fame or what, but
it's the Hall of Fame.
But
well, Rocky in the Hall of Fame. So,
a lot of states have Hall of Fames, but the one you won is the one in Conestoga.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't know if, they just started that wing in Conestoga. As you remember, we were talking to Melissa Smith and was it Jackie Kalin that we were talking to that were part of initiating that new part of the Hall of Fame. But I met Ann Wolfe at the Canelo fight, I believe it was, and she does a lot of work with kids, and she has been for quite some time.
Okay.
She might not, have acquired, the paper like Layla Ali and others, but she's definitely been dedicated to the sport of boxing, and she's been definitely dedicated to those kids. And I still say today, man, if my man Kirkland had stayed with her, I think he could have progressed much further.
He definitely was the greatest. I want to do a video on her, the greatest female trainer of all time.
See, if you notice, and I got to be able, I can't put things up on your page, but I put it up on the Dog Pound page and the weekend, the weekend rap, the greatest knockout, the greatest woman's knockout in history. Have you ever seen that knockout where she knocked out the girl that was she's about 6'8" or something?
Yeah, white lady, I saw it.
When they talk about a tree, when a tree falls in the forest,
you
heard that big tree when it fell.
Exactly.
Jose says, "What's up with the Ryan Garcia not taking the Tank fight?"
I
also heard Telefimo isn't going to fight Haney as well. You know anything about that?
Yeah, I've been hearing about, them guys been all over the place. I think they actually clout chasing each other. They all name is out there now. They all did good. Like Teofimo Lopez, he shocked the world when he beat Lomachenko. Ryan Garcia had a great knockout shot with that body shot that he caught Luke Campbell with. And Devin Haney, even though he struggled, or we ain't gonna say struggle, let's say he didn't knock out Gamboa, he still had a good win. So,
neither did the Tank. Tank didn't knock out Gamboa either. Gamboa was on one leg. But
Leo Santa Cruz.
But like I said, like I said, because you seem to think that Ryan Garcia could beat Tank, but Tank, Garcia don't want that smoke, man.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Now he
No,
talking about having
he,
a exhibition with Manny Pacquiao.
yeah, you see, he another one. See, he ain't gonna put out the fire, but he'll call the fire department.
Yeah,
He don't want he don't want to be in there with Tank. He know the deal.
yeah,
But
yeah. Who is
but
number one as a woman? Who, like, we got Matthew said Katie Taylor is number one. Do you think she's number one pound for pound, or you think it's
man,
Clarissa Shields?
man, Carissa Shields, Carissa Shields is number one.
Yeah, I agree.
There's now if you want to talk about number two, we can talk Franchon Cruz, we can talk Katie Taylor, we can talk what's the other young lady that we had on the show that's I think she's undefeated. She's a policeman out of Baltimore.
Oh, I don't know. Katie Taylor might have to be number two, but that young lady that Clarissa Shields lost to in the amateurs, I mean, she's climbing the ranks. She's
Yeah, but she don't. But Clarissa's out of her weight class now. She's not able to put on that on that type of weight. And then you got to think of what's that other girl out of New York? Man, we had her on when we were on Blog Talk Radio.
Oh yeah, we done had some everybody. Oh, we got some great. We got some great little up and coming future world champions, and the young lady we had on the show. Remember, we was having all the Olympic was coming on the show.
Yeah, she's another one, but I think that she's trying for Tokyo. So she still has her amateur status. She was one of the ones that was training in the ballroom when they had closed down Colorado. But K9, man, we've already been on here a little.
Okay.
Let's see, Jose Joshua wins. Fury might. Then he can go against Wilder. Joshua and Fury are going to fight twice. So anything after that, so you're talking at least another year and a half to 2 years. At least that's what I'm thinking. Because if he fights him now, it's going to be 9 months before he fight him again.
Yeah.
So that's a year gone right there. You already talked
twice the same night, because if Tyson knocked out Joshua, and then he wakes up and he knock him out again. Because some fighters have got knocked out on their feet and then got hit again and got woke back up and then knocked all the way out. So it's possible that can happen. But one thing,
maybe they can emulate you.
What?
The double knockdown.
Don't come no more. No more. Hit the road. Oh man. I got him back though. I got him back. It was a highlight reel. He ended up, being on the end of the winning of the fight. But when it really go, I beat him when the strap was off.
You should protest, man. I mean, you should get at least many views for that as Logan Paul gets for knocking out Nate Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have, every time I showed it, I wish I could have got paid for it.
Hey, but let's get with K9's corner here, man, and put people to sleep. It's 11 o'clock over there where you at.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hey, absolutely, man. At K9 Corners, oh boy, don't get caught sleeping. We just had Medina on the line. I would say, like, stay ready. You ain't got to get ready because do your homework. When I say don't get caught sleeping, don't go in there and think just because you saw your fighter fight that he's gonna fight you the same way. I feel like you should do your homework, man. Make sure, just because for instance, the guy I fought, he was 4-25, which that's my birthday, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to me on 420, beating the guy 425, which is my birthday. He this guy the guy knew who I was. He knew to watch out for my right hand. So this guy was actually better prepared than I was, and that's why he was able to go 4 rounds with me. You know what I mean? He quit on a stool. I did my thing, but when I say stay ready, so you don't have to get ready, you got to do your homework. You need to study your fighter, study him. Don't just go into a fight and somebody offer you a guy 0-1. Like I know Medina, he said that the promoter couldn't get nothing on him. Sometimes you can't trust these promoters. The promoter probably could get something on him. We just probably didn't want to give it to him. And so you just got to really, do your homework, man. Do your homework. The next guy I fight, I just think about this. I was about to get ready to fight a guy who had a record of, I think he was like 1-7 or 2-7. So I was like, oh, that's gonna be an easy fight. How much they paying for something like that? But then I did the homework on him and found out that he had like 30 pro MMA fights. So even though he was like 1 or 2-7 as a pro, he had 30 pro fights in his record in MMA pro fights. He was like 17-17. And so I say, whoa, this guy got more experience than I thought. So I would have got in there, man, and he would have gave me a hard fight. And the boxing fans would have looked and said, man, K9 almost lost to a guy 2-17 or 7-17. But the guy had pro fights in MMA. So you got to do your homework. When you fighting someone and they only have a record of 0-1 or haven't had no pro fights, that don't mean they haven't had no pro fights. They just probably haven't had any pro boxing fights. They could have had some MMA fights. You know what I mean? So, or they could have fought in exhibitions. They could have fought in tough man contest. Remember the tough man contest?
Yeah.
So, do your homework, man. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
We used to have a boxer that started his career as a tough man. I'm not sure. It might have been Caleb Truax.
I don't know. Could have been.
We've had him on the show many times. Yeah. They fight this weekend.
Absolutely.
Have to wish both of them luck. Like I said, we've known Caleb Plant ever since his first fight. Well, actually, I think it was about his fourth fight we talked about him and the tragedy that beset his life early. Now he's remarried to commentator Julie, and his like they say, super middleweight. He might be the best in that class. So we'll see. Caleb is also hoping for a fight with Canelo.
I mean, Caleb Plant is a beast, man. I mean, we done had Truex on the show, I believe, more than Caleb Plant. But man, he might be in over his head with this Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is a beast, man. I think a fight with him, and I don't know if Charlo was in his weight class. I think that Caleb Plant is fighting at 168. But a fight with Caleb Plant and Canelo, I think, could do good numbers in pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I hate playing the race card, man. But like you're talking about, Canelo's got a whole country behind him. Caleb Plant, the Great White Hope.
Yeah, right. It's connection and complexion.
There's a lot of ways you could build a fight. You probably can't build it that way now because of the current, situation. The social situation, but back in the day, man, come on, you know how we would have done that. Like you say, the complexion for the connection and all that, Layman likes to remind us of that, but man. Let me tell everybody they can find me on Facebook, on the Dawg Pound, and also the Weekend Rap. Check out our Facebook pages. We automatically make sure that we share our show tonight on our Facebook pages as well as YouTube. And You can also find me on Instagram as a West Coast Steelers fan. And you can find me on Twitter as West Coast Steelers fan. So any fighters out there that want to be on the show, contact me on my page, and we'll see what we could do. K9, tell them about where they can find you, and hey man, they keep talking about that hat. Make sure you tell them where they can find that hat, man.
Yeah. Hey, so y'all can find me at K9 Boxing. I'm on all social media. YouTube K9 Boxing. Instagram's K9 Boxing. Make sure you DM me at K9 Boxing. And I got a fitness channel too, K9 Boxing Fitness on Instagram. But you can DM me at K9 Boxing Fitness if you want one of these right here, boys. E-Trace on. Can y'all see it? Yeah. Oh yeah. At the bottom of it, of course, it has my slogan on it. Don't bark if you can't bite. Yeah, it's a cold piece. On the back of it, it say Team K9 Boxing. So y'all trying to get one of those, just DM me at K9 Boxing on Instagram, or either K9 Boxing Fitness on Instagram, or even on Facebook. But I prefer Instagram. But yeah, the website is up. I just gotta put the merchandise on there. But yeah, we appreciate y'all though, man. Thanks for actually tuning in. Do you think Winky Wright would have gave Mayweather trouble? Somebody said that. Manda and Dola said that. Yeah. Let's answer that last question before we leave the air, James. Do you think Winky Wright would have gave Mayweather trouble?
I think he would have gave him trouble.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, Winky's defense might have given Floyd a little trouble, and we already know that Floyd in his later years couldn't take that body attack. So
right. I think that if guys like Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Winky Wright, those type of guys would have been fighting in Floyd era, I think Floyd would have stayed down at 130. He would have never came up. It was just opportunity to fight at 154 and 147, guys that he could beat that were a little older or past their prime, or were guys that were before their prime. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo. So Floyd was definitely an opportunist, and he made the most money being smart. And you gotta take your hat off to him for that. But,
yes, sir.
I appreciate you, my guys. Seem like they want to tap in. They like the police. They come in late. It's over. Right. But I appreciate y'all, man. But still, thanks for tapping in. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Share this video. Share the Dog Pound. Tap in every Tuesday at 9:00 with James King and K9 on a Dog Pound. All right. Good night, JK, and thanks to all the fans that tapped in.
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
You have a good one.
All right, have a good one.